Welcome to another episode of Bringing Down the Grindhouse, a podcast where we discuss horror in media. And tonight, don't go into the sewers. Do not follow the red balloons, or else you'll float too. As we delve into It, Chapter 2. I'm Mitch.
I'm Murr.
I'm Justine.
And I'm Jonathan. So why do we skip the first one?
I was wondering that too, actually.
I don't think we had any logical reason for skipping it, but we just did.
No. So what happened was we planned on seeing part 2 about like 2019, like around the end, around September when this movie came out, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And it was sold out.
Oh, that's right.
And we couldn't go see it.
Yeah, we couldn't
and then
actually
it got
go.
put on the back burner.
And then it never came up again.
And then we never came up with it.
And now we're back.
Chapter 2 ever again.
Got it.
Did we cover? I don't think we covered the first one.
But that's the thing. Yeah, I don't think we ever covered the
I
first
think we're going to
one.
have to go back.
No, we decided not to because everyone's seen it.
Everyone already seen it, yeah. But
well, actually, it was more like the original. But either way,
either
the first one is the better of the two, I got to say.
Yeah, we fucked up. But, we're still good, though.
Yeah, it's fine. It was still enjoyable.
Question mark?
I only liked it because of Bill Hader. I'm not going to lie.
He's so fucking good in this.
He's hilarious. I love him in anything.
I think it's really funny because that kid who plays the young Bill Hader, Finn Wolfhard.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
So when they were writing that fucking, like when they were writing the second one, he's like, I want my old self to be Bill Hader. And they're
wow.
just like,
actually requested it? That's
yeah.
amazing. Can you imagine getting that phone call? They're like, yo, this kid requested you.
Yeah.
You want to do this movie? Fuck yeah, I want to do this movie.
Yeah, and then Bill Hader's like, dude, Finn's an asshole, but I love him. Just like there was so much positivity on this set. It's interesting because there's like a lot of cheap scares.
There is, yeah. I think Justine and I talked about it a little bit. They use a lot of the common tropes that you see, but it's like delayed like just a little bit longer.
That particular one underneath the bleachers.
That was great.
That one where it's just back and forth, and you're like, God damn it, they're gonna do it, aren't they? Ah! And then, all right, they did it. All right, God fucking, all right, she's dead now. Good.
Yo, he chomps the shit out of that little kid, though.
I wasn't expecting her to get chomped right away.
Yeah, me neither.
And chomped on the face.
Yeah, he just like eats their whole top half.
Oh man.
Yeah, when I saw this movie in theaters eventually, and I'm pissed because they got me on a fucking jump scare.
The first one got me when he jumps out of the projector in the garage.
Yeah.
That first one got me really hard in the theater. I like jumped in my seat when it came out. But watching it again, I was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
I think mine was, unfortunately, the naked grandma scene.
Yo,
just like one of those.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, there was like a whole trailer for it.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's still creepy.
It is very creepy.
Like I knew it was coming. I'm like, oh, look, she's being creepy. Oh, there it is. Oh, fuck, my body's shaking, and I'm just like, fuck this, man. I hate it.
What's the
and
creepy
then she comes
old...
out all giant, tits a sagging,
Yeah, right? Made me think of that Russian folklore story of
the Baba Yaga?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a CGI of the crazy evil grandma from fucking... God damn it.
Legion.
From Brain Dead.
Also Brain Dead.
It's just that giant, like, it's just that, but...
Long limbs is... The painting fucked me up, too. When the painting comes to life.
That's one thing, too, like a body thing that always freaks me out in horror when it comes to monsters is if they have abnormally long limbs.
Yeah.
So, like, Attack on Titan freaks me the fuck out.
Oh, right.
Like, bruh.
Or
Slenderman? No. Yeah. I just don't like him for the limbs. Like, if he was a little shorter, it'd be fine.
I was creeped out when they first showed up in Minecraft.
Oh, the Enderman.
And they like scream at you as they run at you, and you're like, oh my god.
You're mining for your fucking shit, and you're like, oh, what the fuck?
You've
been behind me this whole time.
Yeah, right? It's like staring at you holding a block.
I remember like the first time playing, I thought they were kind of cute because they just walk around and pick up little boxes and walk away with their stuff.
And then you look them in the eyes.
No, but sometimes they'll leave like the little dirt or whatever they pick up. They'll put it in like your house.
Yeah.
Because they'll just teleport into your house like, hey, buddy.
Got you some dirt.
And then I accidentally shot one and it screamed and ran at me. So
that is the scariest scream.
Honestly.
Especially when you're listening to the relaxing music they like to play in the background.
Well, because they have like this whole like weird static thing too that happens when they scream at you. Like it's got hella reverb on it. It's not cool.
But I agree. Long, slender thing. Like when things have really long fingers, it fucks me up too.
Yeah. So like when Pennywise went all like Super Saiyan and turned into that giant spider.
Yeah, that was. Oh, I cannot handle the bug. combinations with the body parts. That shit was freaking me out.
Like the head,
yeah,
the
that
legs.
it looked like it was out of the thing.
It's so fucking hilarious how they filmed that too.
How did they end up doing that?
They made the adults run around an arena, and then they had a fucking guy in a green suit with a giant stick with Pennywise's face on it.
Oh, I've seen pictures of this.
And then Bill Skarsgård is just saying his lines over a projector, and he's like, "Run faster, you fat fucks!"
That's great. That's a really good piece of production, especially when they're all in a green screen room, and it's just nothing but that.
Speaking of production, we got production notes here.
Oh, tell me about it.
So, It Chapter 2 was released on September 6th, 2019. It was released in USA and Canada. The director is Andy Muschietti, or Muschietti. Andy Muschietti. We'll go with that. The writer was Gary Dauberman, and Stephen King wrote the novel that this is based off of.
And he was also in it.
Yeah, he was in it. Yeah, that is right. He sells the bike.
It's a great cameo. He's like, you can afford it.
Oh, I'm sure you can afford $300.
Yeah.
It's a little steep. You can afford it.
Yeah. I love that he makes fun of himself for not being able to write an ending.
Yeah, through
that is like
the other character.
The number one joke he has for his character is that you can't write an ending because people complain so much about the ending of his books.
I felt like that was like that specific moment was a call out to all the critics.
Oh yeah, there was people criticizing him like up and down for this movie because they changed a good amount in it. But it's also like, how the fuck was he supposed to handle certain parts of the ending? Like, I guess people really wanted more sex scenes between the girl and all the dudes, but like,
what?
so in the original book, the girl has sex with all of the guy members of the group.
Why?
Supposedly to like bring some unity to them.
What?
But they were like, what? This is not what we need to put in film. So they translated it to her just like giving him a hug.
Wait, I just want to know how she banged every single one of those.
It was an orgy.
In the
an
book,
orgy?
Yeah.
Like there's an orgy in the actual book.
In the book, yeah, but it's like if you know,
it's not as explicit.
If you know the monster and you know that it's feeding off of fear and whatnot, and then trying to like it's like a really weird way of like having a unity with the group sort of idea. And it's like, and according to what I've looked up about it, because I read it a long time ago, and I don't remember everything about that book, but I do know that from what I've read from other people who've read it is that it's fairly tame. It's not like really explicit or anything. It's just sort of like heavily implied sort of idea.
I see.
And then they made love in the sewer. You know, like,
and they're like,
of them.
They were like, we can't do this for this movie, so she gives him a hug, and they all get back together. Yeah. And that's how they handled that.
Hey, his poem is fire.
Actually, it's a really good poem.
The poem is pretty amazing.
What, the winter fire thing?
Yeah.
Your hair's like winter fire.
January embers. My heart burns there too.
Oh
my God.
So romantic.
Gets me. I'm just like, oh, that's... Anyway, so...
You're looking kind of red over there.
Producers, we've got Barbara Muschietti, Dan Lin, and Roy Lee. The production company was New Line Cinema, Double Dream, Vertigo Entertainment, and Ridge. Oh, Ride Back. Not Ridge. Ride
Whoa.
Back.
Rad Back.
Our starring roles, we've got Jessica Chastain as Beverly Bev Marsh, playing the adult version of her.
Who I think looks nothing like her younger version.
Yeah, honestly.
Or the freckles.
Casting.
Also,
Exactly.
those don't really.
You know, this actress reminds me of that lady from Mad Men.
It is. No, wait, it's not her.
No, it's not. It's not her, but I'm trying to remember her name. Christina Hendricks. There we go.
Oh, you're talking about the lady from Mad Men who everyone was talking about because she has big old bitties.
Yeah, she got big booba.
Yeah.
Anyway, so regardless.
That's literally the only reason people talk about her.
Regardless, she's also in Firefly.
What?
Yeah. She's in Firefly. She's in one episode of Firefly.
Oh, okay. Yep. So she wasn't in Firefly.
She was.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Shut up. Anyway, so getting back to these names, we got James McAvoy as William Bill Denbrough. We have Bill Hader as Richard Richie Tozier. We have Isaiah Mustafa as Michael Mike Hanlon.
It's a great last name.
We have Jay Ryan as Benjamin Ben Hanscom. We have James Ransone as Eddie Kasprak.
I gotta say, that was a great casting.
Yeah.
Because the young version and
Yeah,
the
it
older
looks
version,
exactly like him.
They even did a moment in the film where
that's
they
right.
faded their faces from
When he's
the
standing
old
in the
face to
pharmacy.
young face, and it was almost like totally
Same
identical.
facial
like,
structure.
Oh,
The-
Definitely some good casting in these
Yeah.
movies for sure.
They showed I believe the picture of the old or the younger version to like a family member of the dude who plays Eddie, and he's like, dude, I've never seen this picture. My brother, where'd you guys get this one?
Oh my god, that's great. What the hell?
Yeah, they basically that's just my brother right there. What the fuck?
Genetics
it.
are fucking weird.
I do also think the black dude didn't look like his kid version.
yeah, that's true.
But I love how crazy obsessed he was later in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked his character a lot too.
You want to know
He's,
what's
the only one trying to bring everyone together.
fucking hilarious though? You know how like when they go to the old, like when you think about the younger versions of the kids,
Yeah.
like his Eddie's mom is like this fat woman who like takes care of him, makes sure he's like on his meds and doing
Yeah.
everything right. And then you like see the adult version of him, and it's like basically he's married someone who was like his mom.
Yeah,
I
we
think you
totally mentioned it.
Yeah, Jonathan had made this. note when
Yeah,
we were
they
watching
did it. Well, this is Stephen King's version of dealing with childhood trauma, which also happens with the girl who ends up marrying a dude who's beating her. So you're just like, oh, because she has some abuse problems from her own father, who is
yeah.
not only beating her, but might have been possibly raping her because he's like really pedophilic in the movie. And you're like,
Yeah.
ooh.
It was pretty bad.
It was great when she killed him, but
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
because she just beats his fucking head in with the top of the toilet.
Yeah, that'll do
yes.
it.
So I was like, oh, okay,
That'll
yeah.
do it.
That'll do it.
But what I
Yeah.
was trying to mention was that
Gosh, Jonathan.
they got the same actress to be the mom and his wife.
Oh,
No.
really?
Yeah.
Bro.
Wow.
So
That's
they just changed makeup on her hard.
Yeah, I was like, she looks very similar. I'm like, it's because it's the same.
Yeah.
Same actor.
Just put a wig on her. or
Damn.
something.
Yeah.
She she kind of grossed me out. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Like when she's sitting there like blowing on her nails, telling him he has to come over and give her a kiss before he leaves.
She reminds me of like a cross between Ursula and Jabba the Hutt.
More like Jabba the Hutt. Ursula was at least kind of stylish.
Yeah,
They
that's
do
true.
make a joke about his mom being Jabba
Oh,
the
that's
Hutt,
right.
and
Yeah.
she just like she goes, I don't want a tingy one.
I forgot about that.
That's not in the script.
Oh my god, I'm sure he just
Bill
ad-libbed
Hader
that.
just fucking hammed it up.
Doesn't he also do some Wookiee shit in the what's it called, the Chinese restaurant they go to?
Yeah. He was impersonating Jabba the Hutt.
Oh my god.
He's like, one time your mom went, oh, tu papa solo. They're just like, oh god, fucking got him.
I don't know how they kept a straight face, honestly, and didn't just continue laughing after that. But I like when the girl comes in and he's just beating up the table. He's like, it's not real. And she's like, is there a problem?
Man, she was way too calm. Just
Yeah, she was way
saying.
too calm. And I also could not handle the fortune cookie transformations. That fucked me up.
Oh, where they turn into the fucking bugs.
Bugs
and
the
eyeballs.
baby face.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
just,
Weird
I don't like
hybrid.
bug stuff.
You didn't like CGI bug babies?
No, I don't like bugs. So that's like, that would probably be my worst
Facts.
fear. So if I was in this movie, it would turn into some sort of bug creature or just a bunch of them, and I'd be fucked because I cannot handle that. Or I get dropped in like the deep ocean, and then I'm like trying to survive.
So I'm just gonna finish up the cast.
No,
really
yeah,
not
quick.
allowed.
sorry.
We got two more that I gotta get through. We got
Right.
Andy Bean as Stanley Stan Uris.
Is that the
Aw,
dude who killed
Stanley.
himself?
Urine.
Stanley he didn't cut it.
He didn't cut it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he does have the best line though. Fucked your mom.
Oh, gold.
And then you
Absolutely
got
beautiful.
Bill Skarsgård as
Yes.
Pennywise the dancing clown.
Bro.
Who's great.
He's
Bill
great.
Skarsgård.
He lays it down fat for that role.
Honestly, like, there's something always interesting about clowns because on one hand, yes, they are these terrifying things because their smiles and their weird faces, but they're also, if you think about it, they're just acrobats in a circus. And so to properly portray a clown, there has to be a lot of body acting that
Yeah.
I feel gets lost in translation a lot of times when people try to portray creepy clown or mime characters, but he did such a great job. Like, he was so animated. From his like weird ass eye thing that he does to just every
With
fucking
the
action
drooling?
he
I
made.
love that.
And the drooling.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Is he actually drooling, or do they put stuff in his mouth? Like,
not sure.
I think a lot of actors sometimes are just like, hey man, it saves production costs, just fucking drool out your mouth.
Yeah.
I can drool. Anyone can drool.
Oh
Honestly.
my god, because that was excessive, but it was great.
I loved it.
So one thing I know about the production behind with Bill Skarsgård is, the kid Georgie from the first movie. So like the entire movie, they make it so like Georgie is scared of it, and like it kills him. During production, Georgie loved hanging out with Bill Skarsgård so much that like when they had to shoot scenes, he would start crying because he couldn't hang out with Pennywise.
Oh my god.
Poor Georgie.
I also heard that they didn't reveal. I saw in an interview with them that they didn't reveal Pennywise's look to the kids.
Oh wow.
Like at all, like before this, so that when they like first had to encounter him, like a lot of their fear and stuff is a lot more like real, and their shock and whatnot. So
I'm actually surprised that they did put the kids in front of the actor. It wasn't like the Babadook, where they didn't actually yell at kids. They just had like a stand-in, and then they did like cutting, so it looks like they're standing in front of them. So that's interesting. They're like, "You want to scar some kids today? Here we go."
Well, they're American actors.
Also,
right?
I was like,
Americans don't give a fuck about the well-being
at
of their children.
a lot of the kids in there have already, like, one of them's already been in Stranger Things.
Also,
so
that
horror is not even like an unknown area for them.
Dog,
Plus, I'd say they're relatively older than like probably the kid from the Babadook
Yeah,
was. I imagine they're at least like 13.
they're about 15 in this.
Yeah, so if they can watch PG-13 movies, they can be called a fatty, okay?
Yeah.
It's fine.
God, that was so fucking mean, but also way too funny for me. And I'm like, why is this so funny? Because he's like, he just keeps using the same insult over and over again. Or when he's like jumping out of the locker, and you're like, what the hell? There's a lot of stuff he does. I do like the body acting a lot.
I mean, I think that the like dichotomy you've got with these two movies is that one of them explores, like the first one is exploring like childhood fears,
Right.
hence why like Pennywise takes the form of like a zombie.
Yeah, they all had their
or
specific
a mummy
fears.
or something along those lines. But I mean, for I think it's Mustafa, right? That's his last name.
Yeah, I think so.
I forget. There's so many names in this movie, but he always sees like his parents burning alive all the time, which is a really like not a very child fear. It's more that's a very adult fear.
That was really intense.
Yeah,
like when he's standing at the door and there's like hands trying to rip out of the door.
Something that was interesting too is I think they kind of brought up the idea of fear of racial prejudice.
Also that.
Because when he was looking at the little newspaper document that was talking about the fire that happened that killed his parents, Pennywise had changed it so it read 2 crackheads burned in the
so
fire.
mean.
Yeah.
And anyone who's black is aware of the common crackhead trope that's put on people of color.
Yeah, no, definitely, and it's like that's like an adult fear, sort of thing, is to be like racially profiled like that, or be treated in that way. So that's I think that's what the dichotomy I'm talking about is. Whereas in this one, he's taking like weird insects that also look like babies. That's not something that kids think about,
right?
Like that. They don't think about stuff like that. They think about scary mummy, the wolf man, those sort of things, like stuff that children are afraid of. Whereas in this one, he's going after them for adult fears.
Yeah,
the fear of me being fat, sort of idea. The fear of all of these things.
There was also the scene where, I mean, he goes through specific fears for each character.
Yeah.
There's one where I believe Beth, she goes through and she's in the locker room in her high school.
So there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff for her specifically because people really dug into it.
Yeah.
So at first they thought maybe it might be fear of like blood, or as in like her period and like coming to age. But then they realized that the reason why she was scared to come to age is because the dad would most likely be more interested in her. So she like didn't want to grow up and like end up being this sort of sexual figure that he could look at. And so her fear ends up being kind of worse in some ways than some of the other people.
Yeah, I mean, you have like the people flashing in telling her like they want to fuck her, like the pharmacy dude.
Yeah,
so fucking creepy. That was the most uncomfortable thing ever.
Yeah, that just all of it. So she ends up just having that main fear as opposed to really anything else. That's why she's the one who usually initiates fighting back, like in the later scenes, because she's not really afraid of much else. Besides that, like one thing her own father kind of put into her. And then, you had like the hypochondriac kid who was just afraid of like getting sick and body mucus. So the like zombie was like dripping and like vomiting on him.
The leper.
Yeah, exactly. It was a leper.
Bro, that was gnarly though, when he was like, "Fuck you," and started like strangling
Yeah.
it, and then it just black vomit all over
This is
him.
now like what, the 5th time we've seen black vomit in a movie?
Yeah,
That just seems to be a common thing that happens.
of demonic entities and
Yeah.
whatnot.
One thing that I read into for like the kid who play or the adult who plays the fat kid prior. I don't know how
The
his
fat
name.
kid.
Yeah, the fat
Oh,
kid.
no.
Wow.
Wow.
So he's reduced to the fat kid now.
I don't know his name. I'm sorry.
Isn't
Of
it
course
Ben?
you don't know the fat kid's name. I don't know it either.
I thought it was Ben.
Yeah, it is Ben. It is
Yeah.
Ben in the
Okay.
movie.
Ben.
Yeah,
Well,
Ben, the fat
thing
kid.
is,
He's like kid who
anyways.
wrote her the poem.
Yeah. So Ben, like the thing is with like people that eat a lot, the thing is their weakness is through their throat, and so when he gets like submerged in sand, it's choking him at the one point that basically caused him all the pain.
Oh.
So like when he's like
whoa.
drowning in the sand, like the only thing that
Yeah.
can save him is his mouth. But it's
Also,
the
all
thing
his
defeating
beefiness
him.
couldn't get him out either.
Yeah, that's true.
He was stuck.
Bro, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
It's true. It's in quicksand, basically.
Mind's blown.
Right.
And then they had an odd moment where they like saved each other and then made out while they were dirty, and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, what else are you gonna do? When you
Also,
have
a
near-death
weird underwater
experience?
kiss later, and I was just like, I still don't understand why.
Oh yeah.
That poem, though, see words? The
Words.
power that they hold. 3 lines, a single stamina, a stanza. Single stamina. One stamina.
Stamina, baby.
A single stanza,
Oh,
and that's
man.
all it took.
That's
So-
hilarious.
That's all it is, man. Get in the English language.
Go ahead.
Get laid.
So like the main
Get laid. Yes, poetry.
Yeah, poetry,
So
get
like
laid.
the main premise of this movie is like Pennywise is coming back. It's been 27 years, but he's still killing kids in Derry, Maine.
Yeah, and apparently he's a cosmic entity that's from another
Yeah!
parallel universe.
You know, I'm just wondering why the cosmic entity stayed so close to its landing site. Like,
Also that.
if you're a cosmic entity, couldn't you just go anywhere in the world?
So,
Oh.
in the book, Pennywise, or the creature, feeds on fear.
Mm-hmm.
And in the books, he literally says, like, fear salts the meat. It's like, it's actually a great line, too.
Yeah,
It
honestly.
salts the meat, you know, and then, like, and just, so he feeds off fear. So if he's got a lot of people in a little community, he's got all the food that he needs. He can
Yeah,
he
bring
doesn't-
all these people
yeah, he
out and
doesn't
then
really have to
kill
go
them
anywhere
and
else.
enjoy it.
That's true. Why
So-
go across the country to get some eggs? You
Yeah,
know?
I just
go to your
landed here.
local grocery
Yeah.
Bro, I'm in the middle of the grocery store.
Bro.
This is sick.
He's in the middle
This
of the
is
grocery store.
sick.
Picking out a 9-year-old today.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
20-year-old tomorrow.
And that was something interesting too, because in the
Lemon
first
juice.
movie they made it seem like Pennywise only targeted children, but I realized in the second movie he targeted children because they're the most like susceptible
They're
to
the
fear.
easiest to. They're the
Yeah,
easiest
exactly.
to
But
scare.
of course, as adults, we still have fears as well. We just cope with them in
Yeah,
different ways.
We gotta dig
unresolved
a little
childhood
deeper.
trauma.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's really into just killing these ones because they fucked him up the first time.
that's true.
Yeah.
It was personal this time.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's like over 26 kids in like his dungeon where they float.
Yeah.
Like, and then on top of that, you have this fucking insane kid who basically got fucking
Oh, the
called out
bully?
for killing like his parents or whatever.
Okay,
in the
but good
last
for him
movie.
for murdering his dad, because that guy
Yeah.
literally shoots at his feet, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Look at him! Look at him! The paper man crumbles!" And I'm like,
Oh,
"Whoa!"
wasn't
that was
a
fucked
cop,
up.
too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a cop.
Wasn't he also the cop and he was
Oh,
like massively
wow.
horrible?
Yeah.
As well.
Sounds pretty
the
accurate.
Yeah, the poor
He,
Hispanic kid that
man,
was there.
he literally just puts the fucking blade up to his neck and goes click, and it just goes straight into his neck. It wasn't even like anything brutal. He's just like, "What the fuck?" And then he proceeds to stab him. And
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, gets sucked up into the sewer and then spit out, and he goes back. But it's crazy that his dead friend is driving him around.
I love that.
Yeah.
Actually.
I love
Weird
that.
taxi cab.
I do love that it opened up with like a big balloon that he's like pulling at, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden then just this thing comes like shambling out.
Yeah, he's
from
like, here you go.
underneath His bed.
Here's your knife.
Here's your knife, buddy.
Also, the
So
dude
good.
gets stabbed through the fucking mouth and survives because it just
Oh,
goes
yeah.
like between his teeth.
The
Yeah.
hypochondriac dude.
I love that he just takes it out, stabs him, and then he like
Stanley.
shuffles to the side, like I'm gonna leave now. And that's like one of the funniest scenes. He's like, yeah, he's in my bathroom and he's like bleeding from his mouth. I was like, I don't know how the fuck he survived that.
He's chilling. Well, he didn't survive.
He just
Yeah.
panics the whole movie. I did like the idea that the only people who figured out how to seal him were the Native Americans, who were just like, yo, you want to go on some crazy drug trip? I'll show you how to do it.
I
But we're
know,
not doing it. You can
right?
do it.
Like, here's some peyote. Have fun.
Takes him in the tent, gives him some drugs, and they're like, here you go. Here's
Yeah.
the sealing thing.
And then you find out that they didn't trap him.
No, it
They
was
couldn't
yeah,
do it.
yeah,
And
exactly.
that's like the big like
there's a double twist because he doesn't tell them the truth from the beginning, and then he doesn't tell them the truth again later on. So he ends up kind of tricking them at the end because he's like, no, guys, we can do it. And they almost did. It was like almost closed, and then I guess they stopped believing, really. Yeah, then the balloon like pushed it open. But I liked when he chucked the spear in its mouth too.
Oh yeah.
To be like, yeah, it's a monster killer.
This kills monsters.
Heck yeah. It's like what is it, the fire poker?
Yeah.
Dog poker?
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, it's something off the fence.
Oh,
It
that's
was,
right.
yeah,
That's right. It's
it
just
was
like one of
one
the
of
fence
the-
posts.
Yeah. I think they just
Ross.
ripped
Even
it off.
more awesome.
But that was the cool part because it really just goes to show that fear is just kind of a mental thing. I mean, fear comes from something that was very real, but fear itself only exists in the mind. And so if the mind believes that one can do something, then it can, you know. So the spear is essentially you throwing a spear at that fear and killing it because you choose to, because you decide that the spear is what's going to do the thing, you know.
This will solve the problem.
Exactly.
Also, just screaming at him
Yeah.
was just like, what? Like, I think they ended up just saying he was a dumb clown and like a bunch of other
you're a
things.
Dumb
clown.
fucking clown.
Yeah.
There's like, yes, let's bully this fear.
I'm low-key gonna do that every time I start to get anxious about something. Be like, "That's stupid. You know, you're not even real."
I really thought they were about to like stomp him out.
Okay.
But then
I
they
was
just-
hoping they would do that. I think I said that too.
Yeah,
I was
you
like, I
totally
hope
did.
they just fucking.
My
Okay,
favorite
anyways.
thing was like in pre-production. He was like, "Hey kids, who's ready to kick my fucking ass?"
Oh my god.
Just like coming on set, just like, "Yeah, kick my ass today."
That's a great attitude. I love
Like
that.
they had a lot of fun filming this.
I
And
bet.
Bill Skarsgård and the bullies, because they're the loser club, they would always make sure that everyone was safe afterwards.
God, that shit makes me so mad still. Watching any movie where there's high schoolers or middle school and they're just bullying and mean, I'm just like, what the fuck? Why are kids so mean? This is like the meanest shit. It's like they always have some sort of like trash or toilet water getting poured on them.
Oh man.
So it's always just having
Yeah.
some terrible scene of them or just getting shoved into a locker.
Or getting shoved into a barrel of toxic waste. Well,
Bruh.
Although in that case, it was a little more beneficial, but either way.
yo, when they fucking went full alien, not full doggy, but full alien. Like I was astonished. I was like, yo, we just went to the fourth dimension. Look at this. This looks like a fucking alien's gonna come out.
I really preferred the book version where they like go into his body and like stab the fucking heart and then have to get out of the body before everything collapses. And I'm just like, oh, this is a really good story. But they didn't want to go like full sci-fi for the story because it would have shifted the genre so hard.
They went pretty deep for this one. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like,
But I liked it. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the concept a lot. Although I don't like the ending.
Yeah.
It's too happy.
yeah.
It's too
And
happy.
it felt, considering the power that Pennywise had
I'm
demonstrated
sure
he
he's
had.
still
Yeah, I feel like something so simple as taking his heart out and crushing it after calling him some names is really not enough to kill Pennywise.
Yeah, he probably went into some sort of hibernation again. Be
Yeah.
back in another 27 years.
I'm sure it'd be enough to like break the hold that his power has on them, you know. But
Yeah,
at the
they,
same
like,
time, it's not enough to
yeah.
destroy fear itself, you know.
They mentioned that the scars from their hands had gone because their pact was fulfilled. So they had come back and killed him. But like you said, he's probably going to get regenerated somehow, especially if he's from another part of the universe.
Because-
go ahead.
I think you had mentioned too when we were researching about this movie that Pennywise is referenced in later novels of Stephen King.
Yeah, he brings him up in Dreamcatcher and like 2 other books where they say that they saw him like in a dream, or anytime someone visited that town, they would get visions of him. But he never like fully appears, so he's probably going to regenerate at some point. But he's getting there.
Yeah, there's probably gonna be like a new gang of little kids.
That'd be
Yeah.
really cool. And I wonder what they'll do with that story. So it'll be cool to see.
There's also like the mini series that they did in the 90s that everyone
forgot
loves to
about
talk.
that.
Was it the 90s or 80s? Everyone loves
It's
to talk
the
about
90s.
that
It's
one.
got Tim Curry as
Yeah.
Oh,
Pennywise.
that's who it was. Yeah, I'd seen the original It, and I was trying to remember who.
The original one
the
somehow
actress
is a little
was-
creepier
actor
to me.
was. Yeah, no, I think it was just the less like I feel like this Pennywise from the newer version, the way it looked was a little more cartoonish.
Yeah.
Versus the original one was very like raw, like it was
Fucked
like a
up
clown
monster,
just had
yeah.
some wild ass.
I mean, you
teeth.
could see like the makeup caked on him. He looks
Yeah.
just like a guy with cake makeup on.
exactly. He's very like human.
Yeah.
You know?
And then there's that dancing part in the new movie.
Oh my god.
Oh, I was fucking. I've seen so many edits.
Some pro skills.
Just fucking going for it. His head is completely
Yeah,
stationary.
it's like nothing else. His head and upper body is not moving. It's just
You
his
ever
legs.
see like chickens? Like if you move them around when
I
you're
love
holding
that.
them, their heads stay still. That's what it made me think of. Is a chicken dance.
Was that supposed to be an intimidation thing or what?
I mean, I'd be pretty fucking
It's
intimidated.
just like, oh, all right. Whoa, dude.
You know what does scare me? It's after the old lady scene when she has the vision of the human Pennywise.
Oh, that was great.
Like I was just like,
as he puts on his makeup and
Yeah.
like rips his face open.
like in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, what if Pennywise was just an entity that consumed a guy that actually lived in a carnival
oh, I'm sure.
and just like
I could believe it.
Yeah.
took over his body?
It's probably just the form he prefers. It prefers, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And just chose that one. But most likely because it appeals a lot to children. Although I don't know if modern kids now like clowns as much anymore.
Well, yeah. I think the thing is that it's not appealing because I feel both adults and some children
Oh, that's fair.
share the fear of clowns. And I honestly think it's because of movies like this why people are afraid of clowns. I kind of think clowns are cool. Just saying.
What's that clown that also sings? He does like covers of other songs. You know what I'm talking? Yes, that's it.
Puddles Pity Party. I love that dude. I've seen him live. He was awesome.
He's
Amazing.
He's really good. But I just like it made me think of that because he has a little crown
Yeah.
that just sits on his
Cute.
I
head.
think the only clown related content I've seen is clowns in a car. It's where they go into drive-thrus and they have an entire recording studio in their car and they just play fucking death metal. Like they have a full drum kit, keyboards, and a fucking guy doing growls. We're just like, "Hello, what do you want?" Fries.
Oh, man.
And like they just like the guy will drive and they'll just make beats while they're driving and just like look at people.
I love
And
that.
it's so good. I need to show you one.
What is it called?
I think it's like Clowns and Cars. It's something like that.
I gotta look.
But
this
like it's some wholesome content if you're into heavy music.
I think they have one that's inside of a outhouse.
Yeah,
Where
it's
the
just
two of
dumb.
them in an outhouse. Yeah.
This would not be complete without us talking about what you guys are scared of most. So what would it appear as for you?
Oh, man.
So mine would definitely be bug related and or the possibility of drowning in like very deep water. So like when he gets dropped into the water and like there's no ceiling, it's like he runs into ice or something. That would freak me out a lot. And possibly like if it was just pitch black, like just all the darkness.
Just dark.
I was about to say, I think that would be mine.
Yeah.
Is like just a black hole. That would be my fear if it could manifest like
Just
that.
fall
in some
into
way.
nothingness.
Yeah, the idea of oblivion and the void is interesting, but also very terrifying to think of pure nothingness.
So like that SpongeBob episode where in like the chrome world, but it's just black.
Yeah, like
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
The SpongeBob.
bro, SpongeBob gets deep.
yeah, it
Just
does.
saying.
That episode's fucking gas.
Yeah.
Mitch, what's your biggest fear, buddy?
I have no fear.
If only that was my actual answer. Probably just a spider. Just become a spider and I'd be like, eek!
Like a giant spider or like a
big
bunch
one,
of
big
them.
one would be even worse.
Or what about a bunch of little ones?
Yeah, you know what I
What's
mean?
worse, one big spider or a bunch
A
of little
swarm
spiders?
of spiders would make me scream and run. I'd probably pee my
Yeah,
pants.
I would not be okay with that.
Ugh.
either.
Not okay with a big bundle of them.
Yeah, fuck that.
So mine is like a category, things that slither on you. So
yeah.
I love snakes, but if I were to step into a rattlesnake or like have a centipede or a millipede
I hate
crawl
those
on my
things.
back,
Yeah, I can't handle that.
or
either.
I mean even rats, even if I had a rat come up on my shoulder, like just anything.
Rats are not so bad.
They're not
but,
so bad,
you know,
but
I get you.
yeah.
I couldn't be on the Fear Factor show
Oh,
where they just like
gross.
covered you in a lot
Yeah.
of these things, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this shit.
What a bunch of masochists.
I have a really dumb story about a rat.
Lay it on me.
So one time,
Just not the rat.
I was at the house all by myself, and we kind of had like a rat problem. We were trying to take care of it, but a rat ended up in my room somehow. And I saw it. I had like a chair and like some other like backpacks and other crates and things that were inside of my closet. And I saw it hopping around in there. So I was like, all right, I'm going to pull everything out and see if it runs out my door and we'll deal with this somehow because I cannot have this in here in my room. So I take everything out of my closet. All of it. Organize it. Put everything away. Get it all cleaned up. It's bare. The rat is not there.
Oh my
I
God.
do not see it at all. So I'm like, all right, it must have snuck by. Got out the front door, right? Mm-hmm. I think I'm good. I'm like, you know what? Just clean the room. Rat's not a problem. Close my door. Get into my undies.
Oh,
no.
So here I am in my undies, chowing down, getting some Netflix going. And all of a sudden, out of my closet, this fat fucking rat comes running out. And the first thing he does is go to the door. That's closed. And then he leaps 6 fucking feet in the air and squeaks and is running all over my room. I am basically naked at this point. And I get up and I'm just like, dude, calm down. Because if I communicate with the rat, clearly it will understand what I'm talking about. And
Obviously.
I say, if you just relax, I'll get the door for you. And everyth's going to be all right.
God.
You know, and I'm just like up on my bed like, no.
Oh
and so
God.
He goes back into my closet and hides there and just stares at me through the little crack in it.
No.
And then I'm just like, all right, I'm going to open the door and then I'm going to continue about my business and just glance over. And eventually he ran out. But it was terrifying. I've never seen a rat jump that high. That's my story.
I love that.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, those rats are real acrobatic little fucks. Just saying. They're superhuman.
I just imagine it
rats.
jumping up and Mitch being the big guy that he is, jumping on top of the bed like, what the fuck?
No.
You know, my favorite rat is that rat in Courage the Cowardly Dog that's always smoking a cigarette. It's
Oh,
like,
shit.
what's
Yeah.
up, man?
Oh, that's right. I love that. That's such a good, I fucking love all the characters in that one. The only thing I could think of that something similar happened. What the hell is that?
So Mitch has a cool light up vape.
Yeah, I was like, I saw like a lot of colors. This looks like something you get at a
rave
carnival.
vape.
I got it. It was cheaper. It was like 1,000 puffs. Anyway, so back to the episode. Distracted.
The only similar story I can think of is when I discovered that cockroaches can in fact hiss at you.
That's
and
terrifying.
or can fly.
Or both.
Or both. And you're like, what is this thing fucking
never
flying and
know.
hissing at me?
Not hissing, flying cat insects.
Just I couldn't
no,
do it.
thank you.
Yeah, that was gnarly. That happened at my grandma's house. There's a little
no.
roach there, and she's like, "Kill it!" So I was like, "Yeah, I got it." Stomps, misses, and then it fucking hisses at me and starts flying, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" This thing just upgraded. Holy shit!
It went Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I was like, "This isn't even in my final form."
So these are like adult fears.
Yes,
what were
very
your
much.
fears as a kid growing up?
I was
though?
terrified of the toilet. The flush.
Oh.
So I used to like prep myself. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna flush. I'm gonna flick the light, close the door, and then run to my room. So I like planned it. I don't know what it was. I like was terrified of the flush. Like I don't know. I just thought
It's gonna suck me in.
yeah, something like it was so
I'm gonna
weird.
go to
And there was one time I did that, and I was like halfway through the hallway, and I just face plant. And my mom was like, "What are you doing?"
the toilet is evil, Ma.
She has so many stories of that. It was so weird.
I'm upset this is the first time I'm hearing about it because this is gold.
Yeah, that one was funny. I don't know. Although I did have one from a kid, and then it transferred into adult. But I had a fear of my teeth rotting, like really hardcore. So like I didn't really eat too many sweets as a kid. And
no
then
wonder you don't eat sweets now.
yeah, I don't eat sweets
You're always
really
like,
when
I
I'm
don't
older.
really eat sweets
Well, I've
like
never
that.
had a cavity or anything, so it's like
Bruh.
it's because of that. I was terrified of my teeth rotting. So
Well, I guess
who
that's
knows?
kind of a good fear to have.
Yeah, it was.
Huh?
You definitely do not want your teeth rotting. That's not fun.
Had two interesting fears from when I was a kid. I guess this one still kind of carries on, but skeletons, but like giant skeletons was a big fear I had as a kid. I think I had seen it in like a movie. It was like Halloween Town or some shit like that.
Oh my god.
And there's like a massive skeleton, and I like near pissed my pants looking
I
at
love
that, and just had nightmares of giant skeletons ever since then. And then that and the world blowing up. It's very
Very
Yeah.
specific. Very specific.
But I had watched this Magic School Bus
Oh
episode
my god.
where Miss Frizzle took them into the universe and into the galaxy and took them to a dying planet. And I guess the planet like imploded on itself once it reached a certain age. And I was like, is that going to happen to us? And then ever since then, I had a fear because where I was living as a child was near a military air base.
Oh,
So there was
yep.
planes taking off all the time, big rumbling noises.
Oh.
And anytime I'd hear it, like I'd
Shakes
wake
your
up in
whole
like the
house.
middle of the night and I'd like put my ear to the ground like, is this us? Are we about
Is
to
this it?
explode? Is this it?
Looks into the
and,
fucking
and that
distance.
went on for like a year at least, but
Jeez.
that was a very specific fear.
As a child, the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
And that's a really common one. But you know, you're about to turn the light off in a lit room.
Yeah.
And it's like 9 p.m. You know?
Dude,
and
I
you
still-
are convinced that there is a secret person
Yes, who's gonna
hiding
chase
in
you.
the blackness
Yo.
I
coming
still,
for you.
I still
every
feel that
time,
way.
Every time. And I'm
That's
just
me
like,
going up any flight of stairs.
Oh
Doesn't
my
matter
God.
where it's at, middle of the day, I got to get up those stairs quick.
Ooh, it's leg
because
day.
the mystery man will kill me.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, don't you know?
I do that when I turn out the lights here when I'm by myself. Like if
No,
Justine
same.
goes to sleep before me, I'm like putting on the flashlight on my phone. I'm like,
I
hold
do
on,
that
hold
too.
on. You're like, I'm not about to be stuck here in the dark.
Oh.
That's great. Yeah, that's totally a common one.
So when I was a kid, I have two. And the first one was clowns.
Oh, poor kid.
Oh wow. Oh shit.
So I watched Poltergeist with my aunt,
Oh dang.
and that fucking clown at the end of the fucking bed,
Yeah.
slithering up and choking that
Ooh,
kid.
Yeah, that was.
It
fucked
got
up.
me. I had like severe trauma from it. If I would see the colors red, blue, and yellow together,
You were like,
I would fucking think of the clown. I'd get so fucking scared. And then it drenched into my dreams.
Yeah.
So I had a dream that I was at a carnival,
Ooh.
and I don't remember what happened. Like the clowns were doing their thing. I was like, "This is so nice. I love this." And then one of them pulls out an AK-47, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then like another one brings out like a fucking Molotov, and I'm just like, "Okay." And then they start gunning the audience,
Oh my god.
and my mom falls on me,
Oh.
gun down, and then like she's on top of me. I'm like, "Oh my god!" So we're like trying to run for our life while these fucking clowns are just gunning kids down.
Bro.
Killer clowns
Yeah,
from outer
seriously.
space.
That's literally what that movie is. Jesus.
Also, another one was Heights. I feel like Heights is a very common one.
It is.
We would go camping and onto a reservation that was like 3,000 feet in the air, just like
Oh,
up
God.
a mountain. So
Yeah.
every time going up there with a fucking RV, I'd feel like the slight jerk of like the transmission. I'm like, oh, this is it. This is how we're falling off
We're
the fucking cliff.
we're falling off this mountain.
But yeah,
Oh man.
but it's very different now because now I'm just afraid of fucking slithery things.
Yeah. So you must not like that movie Slither.
I haven't seen it yet.
Ooh. It's like it's sort of like leeches, sort of.
I think leeches are kind of cool though.
But
hate
like it like digs
leeches.
into your skin, and then if enough of them get in, it'll like make you explode.
Oh,
No, that's a fear I have actually. My adult fear is bloodsuckers. Fucking leeches, mosquitoes, except
I
for
hate
vampire
mosquitoes.
bats. They're kind of cute. But everything
They're
else
kinda
that sucks blood, fleas, ticks,
Oh,
fuck
those things
off.
are nasty,
no.
dude.
Oh,
fuck that shit.
fuck that shit.
Parasites are lame.
We had this like flea infestation
Oh my
last
god, that was
summer.
the worst.
It was the worst thing because on top of my fear of bloodsuckers, literally there was a spot somewhere in the living room
Yeah.
where there was just like a colony. So you'd walk by and get like 20 on your
They were like
legs.
jumping on you.
Yeah.
We had to like continuously vacuum and clean the carpet until they were all
constantly
dead.
like salting it and putting like
Yeah.
what is that, borax?
Yeah, that
in
was
the carpet.
wild.
Pro tip: if you got a flea problem, put borax on your carpets, leave it for an hour, and vacuum. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, that's some good tips actually.
Well,
what was
then-
your favorite scene?
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
about to ask. My favorite scene. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed the dads getting murdered, but if I had to
Agreed.
really choose, the one that I feel like that got me the most was the kid who saw the people inside the door where it's like burning and like the burnt hands are reaching outside of the door. I don't know why that one was just extra creepy to me, but it just seemed really intense for like a kid to be seeing as opposed to some of the other stuff that they were being afraid of. So that one was especially good.
I think that for my favorite scene for this movie, for It, Chapter 2, is the scene where, is it Ben? Or is it Bill? Who's the stuttering one?
Bill.
Bill. Yeah.
Bill.
Bill and Georgie, right? Yeah. There's that whole scene where he like goes back and like re-meets Georgie. He goes back to the scene from the first movie where he encounters Georgie, and Georgie's just like, Yeah, I went outside and I died. You stayed and
Gets
I
a
died.
demonic voice.
Yeah, and that little kid starts screaming that. But then, like, in this whole scene, he, like, ends up shooting his, like, younger self, which is, like, killing his old guilt in a way. And I liked that. I thought it was very poetic.
That is a good scene.
I think my favorite scene was towards the ending when they're battling Pennywise and the dude, was it Bill, like throws the rod into his mouth.
Yeah.
And then he turns on, what were they called? The deadlights.
Yeah.
Pennywise does. And he just like gets caught and like immediately like freezes. There was something that was really like, I don't know. That part actually kind of spooked me a bit when he just, his eyes went completely white.
Yeah.
His face was blank and he was just floating. Like that was really, and you have this whole like dark sequence. Like the past couple of scenes have been super dark. They're in the sewer, and then Pennywise turns on his lights. Oh, I don't know. There's
Such a
something
dark
really
movie
stark.
at some point.
Yeah.
I think my favorite scene is when he gets the note from the skateboard and he goes all the way to the carnival. And he tries to save the kid who goes into the fun house, and there's the room of mirrors. And like, I think a thing that's like super scary is like having the ability to save someone or help someone and not being able to do anything about it.
Yeah, he like crashes through the glass, like beating it with his head.
Yeah, he like fucks up the mirror room so much that like they're on the other side. They're like probably just a pan away from each other.
Yeah.
Can't save the little kid. He ends up dying.
I wasn't expecting him to die there.
Me neither.
Because I thought this kid was going to become significant since we'd
Yeah,
already seen him
same.
come up like 2-3 times.
Yeah, it's getting yelled at by Bill Hader.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You think that's fucking funny? You think that shit's fucking funny?
The fun's just beginning. Like, I was like, oh no.
Oh my god.
And it's just a fan, his one fan.
Literally, it's his only fan.
Only
Only
fans.
You can come hang out with us now. It's fine. No, I think I'm good.
Yeah,
I
just
think a
walks
little kid
away.
to say something like that is pretty funny, man.
I did also like Stephen King's cameo,
Hell yeah.
where he's just like, he walks in and he's just like, "Can I help you? Like, what do you want?" He's like, "You can afford it. You can afford it." As in, like, making a joke out of writers that don't make very much money. And so that was a good scene to have him in. Also, I didn't know Stephen King could like act. At least like very minor roles.
He did a cameo in Sons of Anarchy as the cleanup guy.
Oh wow.
He's like, "Would you want any music?" He's like, "I'd like to put on some 80s." And then he like smells things. He's like the weirdest guy in that fucking show. He's so strange.
He's got a weird looking face, so it fits.
Yeah.
Stephen King had a role in the Creep Show like series.
Oh, that's right.
He was like the redneck farmer that was stupid that gets infected from an alien. That was like
That's very
It's
specific.
like, is this Men in Black?
yeah, it's very similar. But like that was like one of his only roles that people know him from. So
Yeah.
he feels like this cameo role is his best acting role to date.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's his own story, so that's kind of cool.
That's cool. I really liked him in Sons of Anarchy though, because that whole just like, I'd like some 80s.
He also did not give a fuck about people criticizing the movie. He was like, I don't know what to tell you. He's like, I thought it was cool. Had a lot of fun doing it. He's like, I don't know why people were complaining about the ending. And like that was really his answer. He just didn't care about people criticizing it.
No.
But it made a lot of fucking money, so
He's Stephen fucking King.
also at
like,
this point, he's
like you don't.
yeah.
He's kind of untouchable almost.
What's
like,
that
in
fucking
writer
movie that
role.
he made when he was cracked out? Not
Cujo?
cracked out. No, not Cujo.
Ah.
It was that fucking. It's the movie with the giant semi truck.
Oh,
The goblin semi truck.
shit! I know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're not talking about Christine.
No.
Or, all right.
I don't remember what it's called.
It's like Maximum Override or some dumb shit like that.
You know, I really want to know what his creative process is for writing all of these stories, because damn.
He actually does say so. If you want to write and be a successful writer, 1,500 words a day.
Yeah,
That's what he says.
He's got a book that tells you how he does it. But
Yeah.
his most common helpful tip is that he writes every single day.
Yep,
Every single day.
1,500
Yeah.
words or more every day.
Because it's like anything else. It's like a muscle you have to practice.
Yeah.
They
Gotta
say
flex.
10,000 hours.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one too. For like
Yeah.
anything that you're trying to get
If
good
you want
at.
to be a master at something, practice it for 10,000 hours.
Interesting. Any final thoughts then?
And
Ratings.
And ratings?
Yeah. I give this movie an 8 because honestly, I find the whole series very enjoyable. I don't usually like reboots, but
Yeah, that's true.
this one was, I would
It's
say,
a
it was a
unique
little bit better than the
reboot.
original. the characterization of Pennywise is very interesting. And just the aesthetics of the movie overall. I will have to say I wasn't a fan of the ending, so that's why I give it an 8. But otherwise, this is a pretty cool movie. A good continuation to the first one.
I give this movie also an 8. However, I believe that the last 2 points are taken off because it could have been a little shorter.
Yeah.
And there's some pacing issues, for sure, like flashing back between the kids and the adults. But overall, as something like Justine said, a remake, it's pretty good because a lot of remakes suck dick nowadays.
So I'm going to give this like a 7.5 because, like Mer said, too fucking long. All right. And I will also say that I think that the adults were written worse than the children were.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I don't think that there was enough development for the adults compared to the first one. And I liked the first movie better than this one. But like Justine also said, I also just enjoy the story in its own right as well. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. I just don't think that it's perfect.
I give it a 6.
Wow.
The story's enjoyable. It's pretty unsettling at some points, but like you guys have mentioned, the writing for the adults is weak as hell. I don't enjoy violence against women in film, especially when it comes to rape.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this several times before. It's weak writing. A lot of people don't agree with it, but like you can find other shit to do. Like we've already seen enough pedophilic men and enough raping to really kind of explain what happens in it. Just find something else that you can use in these stories. And then I feel like they could have cut it so much shorter. This could have been like an hour and 30 minutes, hour and 40-minute movie.
Yeah.
But you didn't need that whole middle section. Just fucking cut out that whole middle section. You'd have been all right. Yeah, or just like cut it like closer so you can actually have the main bits that you need it.
Like this is almost as long as Gandhi, Lord of the Rings, and fucking Boogie Nights, dude.
So long.
Without being as epic as any of those.
Yeah, I know. Honestly. Oh my god, this is like how I felt about the new Tarantino movie. I was like, this is too long. Why did they make this movie so long?
I don't know. I kind of liked it. I liked how immersive it was. Like it was long, but I was just kind of in it. I was living it. Anyways, that's a talk for a different time.
Right. Well, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You want to take us out, Mer?
Thank you for listening to Bringing Down the Grindhouse, a podcast where we discuss horror and media.
Woo!
Make sure to check us out on all our social medias. We have the Twitters, the Instagrams, and the Facebooks.
The Book of Faces.
The Book of Faces, yes. We also have our merch up now with hats and shirts. Make sure you go check it out on our Teespring. Awesome designs up there. We have the trucker cap and a regular dad cap, so get some style on there. Other than that, you could also subscribe to our Patreon for $2 a month. You get access to all our bonus content from all the content creators, as well as looks inside our outlines. And you could suggest a movie or piece of horror media that you'd like us to review. So check us out on Patreon, and we appreciate your support.
I'm Mitch.
I'm Mer.
I'm Justine.
And I'm Jonathan. Thank you.